Alpha Design Nigeria Limited is promoting their GNV. Genesis New
All right, hello
Vision
everyone.
House.
Good day from wherever you're watching us. Welcome to Oida Energy Podcast, coming to you live from Nice 2026. My name is Sarah Oishisi, and I am your host and your interviewer for this session. And it's my pleasure to welcome you to this exciting conversation where we'll explore innovation, ideas, opportunities. And with me here is Engineer Nwosu Wosu, right? Did I get it right?
Wosu.
Yes, Nwonadi Wosu, a lecturer from Federal Polytechnic of Oil and Gas Bonny, currently serving in SVE Port Harcourt section as the Career and Guiding Chairman, Convener Garden City Career Summit. And before I move on to our guest, I would love us to stay tuned to Oida Energy Podcast at Tunga 100.9 FM. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Welcome back to everyone watching us live from the exhibition booth and to everyone listening to us live on Tunga 100.9 FM. So let's begin with our guest joining us today. Is our distinguished guest, and I want to, in 2 minutes, please introduce yourself and your organization.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and it's always a privilege when invited to contribute my own quota and little expertise in the energy industry. Seated here is Engineer Nwonadi Wosu, an industrial academician from Federal Polytechnic of Oil and Gas, and currently serving in SP Port Harcourt section as the Career and Guidance Chairperson. And I'm still the convener of Garden City Career Summit, a platform that conveys young minds, young professional students, placement of internship, vocational skill set, bridging the gap between the industry and the academy.
All right, welcome once again, sir. It's a pleasure to have you on this session. So moving to our question, what practical steps are your organizations taking to reduce carbon emissions while maintaining profitability?
Okay, thank you for that question. Ideally, as an academician, we are like the vehicle that will talk more about reduction in carbon emission. We all know where we sit currently in the country when it comes to the gas flaring and all that. One of the challenges, a country like Nigeria is more of a gas nation compared to a crude nation, because the deposit of gas we have in our reservoirs is mind-blowing. But the challenge there is getting more infrastructure when it comes to productivity of enhancing gas production. Now, even in the country, you're currently aware of the issue with the cost in gas, domestic gas, and all that. We are rich, we are blessed with it. We need the right equipment and infrastructure for gas to, and distribution and all that. And it's an avenue we need to drive more investment. Like the government, the Ministry of Energy coming in to say, okay, how can we do to secure more? It's something that is quite worthy to invest in. What it needs has to do with the big capital. Do you understand? So
you need more hands.
You need hands. And again, if you have the right infrastructure, because Nigeria is rated like the 6th largest in the country when it comes to gas production, over 120 metric tons of gas, and is highly underutilized because of what we don't have what it takes to store and do all the exploration and the processing and all that. So I know if we have the right infrastructure, because I've talking to 1 or 2 professionals, mainly in Nigeria, LNG and all that, and that is still what is being echoed. So I think we need more investment in gas infrastructure. Despite we have the potential, but that's not enough. So we need to make sure that we harness it and it can be more profitable. Imagine state government key into it. Like there are states, most of the gas that is not being utilized, you can convert that to power. And there's a lot we need to profit from that. Like I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday in this conference that wants investors to come into what? Powering gas through distribution pipeline to homes. And I told him, guys, this is a good investment. It is something that is worthy. That if you do it, the real estate have a collaboration or a partnership with most of the real estate companies, and you have those gas being metered. So whatever you use every month, so that's how we can make more profit from it. If you domesticate it and take it to some estate, Lagos is somewhere that has that potential of large real estate investment and all that. So we can use this idea, invest in it, and
So let me say, this particular person think beyond tomorrow and trying to embrace the future. Wow.
yeah. Because this what I just mentioned happens in the West. Now there are some estates even in Lagos here that your homes is wired with distribution pipelines for gas to your kitchen and all that. So what you just do every month, whatever gas you use is being metered and you pay. So we need more investors coming in there to explore that opportunity, and it's something that if it's been explored, people will invest more in it. There will be a lot of profit from it as well, because it's a good business idea as well.
In that angle, we are thinking about the future and trying to this is kind of thing we can implement now. In this kind of settings, you think it's not risky or something? Direct to everyone in the home getting the opportunity to get the gas, or how would I put it?
It's not it's not risky. It's doable. I've seen it work, and there's a model for it already. Now, what am I saying? Because you don't.
Yeah.
The pipelines are buried. Where you see it shoot out, just like production through pipelines. You find out that gas driving force is more of compressor. That of crude is more of pump station. You find out that even if you bury those carbon steel pipeline in the ground, you get to a point where you get to those compressor station, it's always out. So that model in houses, just like the way you run your plumber stuff and all that, you can do it, and it gets to your kitchen, and it's positioned in a place where your burners and it's very, very safe, because you find out that even the pressure gas line across the Niger Delta, there's always going to call right of way. So ideally, you know that this is gas are buried on this ground, so you don't intrude. Yes, so even at home, that can be done. If you go to a refinery today, do you know how many gathering system pipeline flow lines that are buried on the ground? You just put signals, don't dig, don't trespass, and it's doable. Yeah.
All right, thank you so very much for that. And on to the next. How can service companies, better align with your operational priorities?
Yeah, I rightly said I'm more in the research and academic, so we do more of the crusading and awareness creation. Collaboration is key in the energy industry. You bring what you have, I bring what I have, I'll make it happen. So both of them working hand in hand is something that has to do with what? Based on what? Result driven. Yeah, I'm very happy with the Nigeria companies on that pattern. I know Oida has proven itself as one of the lead voices when it comes to putting the indigenous company in the right map in Africa, because of your MD is someone that all of us is learning from and all that. So he has a lot of people he has taught, and expertise speaks volume and all that. So I think I'm very happy, because today I can see a company like Oida Group competing with what? IOCs in different job scope and all that. And again, rendering excellent what? Services when it comes to wireline, whether E-line or sneak line and all that. So we've seen indigenous company grow, build the right expertise, the right manpower training, and again, they have what? Grown that success trajectory with what? Job delivery. So I think that should be continuous what? Trainings. You unlearn and you relearn. No, the idea of being trainable and teachable, it's what I keep. Even I sit there
as a lecturer.
I'm trainable and teachable. I tell my students sometimes in class, I say, okay, use your smartphone, go to YouTube. If I say something, question what I said, learn from it and all that, because I am too learning from you. That's how the university should be. I've always been an advocate of NUC, the university body and all that, trying to lobby or get seasoned professionals in the industry. I worked in the bottle for some years before I got into the academic side. If I have an opportunity to go back to the field, I will do it, because of what? I'm still in my late 30s. So because if you have experienced individuals, professionals coming back to the classroom, you bridge a lot of gap. It's not about the mathematics of the board. It's about how are you going to use that mathematics you taught to solve real-time problems. That was an innovation challenge yesterday, and I was telling the guys, fantastic, you've done this in what? In the pool. Please, we want it what? In real life. You know why? Because any business investor will want to say, okay, if I'm putting $1 million, $100,000, okay, what was my profit? What am I getting back? It's business minded. That's business for you. So I think the collaboration should be expanded, like continuous training. We have a platform where you have a servicing company talking about their fears. Because we have this issue of what servicing companies working for IOCs and beyond 30, 60 days are not being paid, and it has to be improved. And again, it's something that we need to look inward and again get the right man, because the energy job, the energy company was with what? Competent. It's not something you do with social friend. No, because you must be result oriented. Your job will speak for you, because that's how. Because if you solve a company's problem, maybe while you go get samples from the soft surface and you run your analysis and all that, you should be able to say, okay, this A company did this for me, so you can do a referral and all that.
Okay. So on the innovation aspect, I want to ask a question. What role do local technology providers like Oida Energy Limited play in supporting innovation?
Okay, I don't work for Oida, but it's a company I know a lot of things about based on what their expertise and their result and all that. I know when I graduated from school, I think I usually come to Oida, and I know how proficient in wireline, because I have some friends that have been there before and they've left and they've grown their career trajectory based on what they learned when you guys were Oida. You understand? And I know that it took years, you understand, for them to be able to at least grow. But there's something you guys do, the ability of teaching. Your MD is someone that learned from nothing. When I mean he knows what he's doing. He walked through the ladder in other companies and all that, slum and all that, and today he built his own. So they require training, because there's something they used to tell me there in Oida. They say, if you work here, you know mathematics. I remember what Ogadevo used to say that. He said, if you work in Oida them, that is not Oida, that you will know mathematics. Because I've seen the process of your exams when I was an undergraduate. And I saw people that they didn't know much, they passed the training, they became a better version of themselves. That talks about the innovation you initiated through them, that passed through them, and today they delivered on jobs, because that is what many company wants to hear. If I don't want to waste more time with you, like putting you on the job.
You've really said it all.
Do 2 minutes. If you have to do 2 weeks, do your 2 weeks, and you give us the result, give us the data, and we continue and all that. So Oida is known for striving innovation, training, and bridging the gap as well.
All right, thank you so very much. We've come to the end of this session. It's as we wrap up this conversation. Thank you so very much for these ideas you've shared to us, your experience so far. It's wonderful, and it's pleasing to have you here with us. So to everyone watching us live, to those at this exhibition booth, and to those joining us live on Tumba 100.9 FM, thank you very much for joining us. And once again, our guest for the session was Engineer Nwonodi Wosu, a lecturer from Federal Polytechnic of Oil and Gas Bonny, currently serving in SPE Port Harcourt section as the Career and Guidance Chairman, convener, Garden City Career Summit. So thank you very much. Stay tuned to Oida Energy Podcast, because we have a whole lot, and you can scan the IQ code Oida Energy for more information. My name still remains Sarah Olushusi. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Thanks so much for having me.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another exciting, insightful edition of the Oida Energy Podcast, coming to you live from Nice 2026. I am still your girl, Sarah Olushisi, and it's my pleasure to have you join us as we explore, innovations, as we explore new skills, we explore leadership, and with me here to share ideas and knowledge about this energy industry. Here with me is Nnamdi Akudolu, the Strategic Business Unit Manager for Oida Energy Group. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, hello, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well. Welcome, sir.
Yes.
So in 2 minutes, please introduce yourself and about your organization.
Okay, my name is Nnamdi Akudolu. Just like you said, I'm the Business Unit Manager for Oida. I've been in the industry for some years now, more than almost 2 decades. Basically delivering technical services to our various clients and partners in the upstream space of the oil and gas. Yes.
All right, straight to the business. Okay, when you hear the phrase future energy today, what immediately comes to your mind?
Okay, future energy today, I think basically we're looking at harnessing all the possible ways to get our current energy space into the future, so to speak. Nigeria, we know we're naturally we're deprived. We have energy security issues. So we're looking for ways to increase energy space in terms of both oil and gas, renewables, any way that we can use to increase our and secure our energy security in the industry and overall in Africa as well. Yeah.
Okay, so what technologies do you believe will redefine the energy sector over the next decade?
And the most current one now that is reigning is AI.
AI,
Yes, and technology as well. So already in the energy industry, I don't want to be specific to the oil and gas. We're improving on ways of delivering services in the drilling space, in the installation space. But what we can do now is to use the current new technologies, which the use of AI, data, in improving all these various sectors, so we can do more in producing oil, cheaper oil, better oil, and better energy resources here in the industry.
Okay, so moving forward, how can African countries position themselves for the global energy transition?
It still boils down to energy security. In the Western world, they have so much improved their ways of harnessing energy. I know most times they tend to tell us to look at net zero, but Nigeria and every other African country, we have not been able to tap into the oil and gas space that we have. More so, we need a lot of work to be done here before we can now look into improving the other energy sources, like I said, renewables. Yeah. So we believe if we work at it, also improve the various ways to harness the necessary technologies so as to reduce our carbon footprint, then slowly get ourselves into the renewables, but still tapping into the current fossil fuel energy that we have.
Okay, so is innovation more about technology or people? Both. That's wonderful. Yeah. All right, let's go with one more question before the session's over. If you could, give one career advice to your younger self, what would it be?
That's an interesting one. My younger self.
We have young engineers, young people looking forward, to this industry, and they really want to put more effort into this. And what advice could you give to them?
Yeah, basically, maybe I advise myself to go for it, challenge myself more.
Yeah.
Typically, most of us, when we finished in the higher institution, we just go and start looking for jobs in the industry. Yes, that's still a good way, but with the current technology and energy dispensation, you can easily build something technology related. You mustn't be straight into the oil and gas space. You can tap into the AI's help and improving the current energy. Yes.
So should we say there is a particular step for the young engineers, to into this industry? There are steps, to take.
The world is global now.
The world is global.
I mean, just going to Google and typing what is oil and gas,
and everything will happen.
Comes there. Even it gives you a step-by-step procedure on how you can.
So the first thing for them to embrace is technology, the AI.
Yes. So embrace it, challenge yourself, and I would say the sky will be your limit.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much, sir. And this will come to the end of today's session with Nnamdi Akudolu, the Strategic Business Unit Manager of Oil Energy Group. Thank you so very much for your idea, sharing to us your experience so far in this industry, and we really appreciate that. I'm very sure the young ones watching us, listening to us out there, they've embraced one or two things from what you've shared to us today. Thank you very much, sir. And everyone watching us, this is Oida Energy Podcast, coming to you live from Naice 2026. I'm still your girl, Sarah Olushisi. Don't touch the dial. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.